After Solomon had the priests bring the ark from the tabernacle of David that was in the city of David to Jerusalem, and it was set up in the most holy place, the glory of Yahuwah filled the house and sanctified it. Then Solomon blessed Israel, praised God, and petitioned God for the temple. Solomon's prayer begins with the request for God to confirm the covenant he made with David to establish his throne, and to keep his eye on the house, hear his prayers and the prayers of his people when they pray towards the house, and forgive them. He asked God to judge offenses brought to the altar righteously, justifying the righteous and condemning the wicked. Then he prays for when Israel breaks covenant. God's four sore judgments for breaking covenant are the sword, famine, noisome beasts of the earth, and pestilence. So Solomon prays that when they are smitten before their enemies, or God shuts up the heaven that there is no rain, or there is famine, pestilence, blasting mildew, locust, or caterpillar, or they are under siege by the enemy in the land, or if there be plagues and sicknesses of any sort, if they would pray towards the temple, confess God's name, and turn from their sin, that God would hear and forgive them. He also prays that when they go out to battle and pray toward Jerusalem and the temple, that God would hear and prosper them, and that when they go into captivity for their sin, that if they confess their sins and repent and return to him with all their heart and soul, and pray toward the land, that he will forgive them. Furthermore, Solomon prays that when the foreigner who would hear of God's fame and come to the temple to worship him would pray towards the temple, he would also hear their prayer and honor it, so that the whole earth would know and fear God like Israel. After Solomon finished praying, they commenced the 7-day feast of dedication for the temple, with so many sacrifices and offerings that they had to hallow the middle court because the brazen altar could not contain them. This feast was followed by tabernacles, which also lasted 7 days. So they feasted 14 days in all, held a solemn assembly on Shemini Atzeret, and returned to their homes afterwards. In response to Solomon's prayer, God appears to Solomon and tells him he has heard his prayer and sanctified the house to put his name, eyes, and heart there forever. He then makes him a promise very similar to the one he made David. But unlike David's unconditional promise, this promise, like many of God's promises, has conditions. God says, if thou wilt walk before me as David thy father walked, in integrity of heart and in uprightness, to do according to all that I have commanded thee, and will keep my statutes and my judgments, then I will establish the throne of thy kingdom upon Israel forever, as I promised to David thy father, saying, there shall not fail thee a man upon the throne of Israel. But if ye shall at all turn from following me, ye or your children, and will not keep my commandments and my statutes, which I have set before you, but go and serve other gods and worship them, then will I cut off Israel out of the land which I have given them. And this house which I have hallowed for my name will I cast out of my sight, and Israel shall be a proverb and a byword among all people. If Solomon walks upright, then God will establish his throne. But if he or his sons turn at all from following him, Israel will be cut off, and the house will be cast out.